Hey, GutFoxx here. I've done my budget series on silvers and golds, so now we're going to get today into the worst valued cards in MUT 16. The sponsor today is Banking School. We promise to teach you well and in an interesting way so you don't lose interest. So obviously I'm not going to say bronze cards are bad, everybody knows that. What I want to talk about are those cards that cost a lot but will not perform for you. Either they have stats in the wrong spots or their price just won't justify their production. And obviously, avoid buying any 72 to 74 overall golds to start in your lineup as they're unreasonably high priced due to their rarity from packs. So we'll start with quarterbacks and move down the list. First one up, Seasons Vet 90 overall Eli Manning, 40,000 coins right now. Tony Romo is less than half the cost and betters Eli in every single important category except 6 carrying, 1 throw power, and 6 speed. But everything else is in Tony's favor. The production to price is very slanted in Romo's favor, but the low-priced Winston and Romo are the gold standards for quarterbacks, and everyone will be compared to those two going forward. Halfback, LaDainian Tomlinson is an easy choice since he costs 900,000 coins and will offer similar production to Terrell Davis. But from here forward, we'll skip ridiculously high-priced players and those players, out of 50 like LT. But for a lower-priced player, I don't think Arian Foster should be owned or used. Too slow to provide the benefits of his moves. He's got good carry and decent trucking, but that's about it. Get someone else like Carlos Hyde, Schefter Star, and he'll produce better for you at a cheaper price. A wide receiver, Roddy White's captain card, is not one of my favorites. People are wising up to this though, and this price isn't that high for its overall, but I still wouldn't have it on your team. It doesn't do one thing really well, which is what you want out of each of your wide receiver spots. Either someone to go deep and catch jump balls like Brian Finneran, outrun the defense like Perriman, catch the ball in traffic and hang on like Keenan Allen, make moves and get yak like Cooks, and other roles that you can assign to your wide receivers. Roddy White just doesn't do anything amazingly, and for his price you need him to do something. He's too short to go on the outside and not a great route runner to be your slot. He doesn't even run block well. I would not acquire Roddy White. At tight end, it might be a little too soon, but I'm going to say Jared Cook's 88 overall BCA card. He's a receiving tight end that isn't extraordinarily fast. He has 76 route running and 77 catch in traffic. He has 94 release, but tight ends don't get jammed. His run blocking is only a 74, which is decent, but nothing spectacular. His biggest upside is the 90 spectacular catch and 6'5" frame. But as of this recording, he's going for about 60,000 coins, a big overpay for what he'll provide your offense. I'd much rather have Jimmy Graham's 88 card for the same price because he's got higher jump, 2 inches, and a much better route running and catching traffic. Alright, let's move on to offensive line and left tackle. I do not believe tackles need impact block because they will not be in space often enough except on counters, but those have been severely nerfed this year. On screens they will still pass block, on powers they still run block. So someone with high impact block usually has worse other stats. But I'd say the biggest factor in building an offensive line has to be run block. Because if you saw my video on defensive tackle testing, strength played little role in what was ultimately a battle of the trenches won by block shedding. So I would avoid all players with low run block like Eugene Monroe, Ryan Clady, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and for some more expensive players, Jared Velde here is one that I don't think I will ever end up owning, and Donald Penn's captain card I also think is not worth his price. I'd much rather have Nate Solder's BCA card than those. Left guard, Josh Sitton. His run block is the lowest elite guards at 87 for the left guards. If you run a pass first scheme, then he's great if you don't run the ball much. But if you're like me and are more towards the balanced side of offense between run and pass, avoid the low run block. At center, it's another easy choice. Skip Will Montgomery's season vet card, 40,000 coins for an 86 run block. No thank you. Right guard Kyle Long, 88 run block is nice, but not 68,000 coins nice. The other ones I'd skip like a rope are Luis Vasquez, 79 overall, and David DeCastro's Football Outsiders card. Although he's a great run blocker in real life. I might end up finding a low strength, high run and pass block team and see how well we do, because the strength didn't play much in that defensive tackle testing. David Stewart's right tackle, 82 overall. It's only 1,000 coins, but he has 74 run block. I would avoid him and not have him on your team at all. But of the high price right tackles, Sebastian Vollmer's seems egregious with his 75,000 coin price tag, but only an 84 run block. Defense, we'll start with left end, Khalidus Campbell, 87 overall. I don't know what scheme he fits in. Far too slow for a 4-3, too weak and low block shed for a 3-4. Avoid him, don't get him for your team. 86 overall, Charles Johnson suffers from the same issues as Campbell. Too slow, doesn't hold up well against the run with a 75 block shed. Defensive tackle, they have to stop the run for me. That's why I want them with high block shed, as you saw in my defensive tackle testing mentioned earlier. Derek Marks has an 83 block shed, which is unacceptable for defensive tackle on the inside of your defense. He's going for 37,000 coins on the Xbox One. He might be a situational pass rusher with his high power move, but he's still slower than you'd like for someone to fulfill that role on your defense. And he's pricey for how slow he is for that low block shed. Gerald McCoy's 88 is the same way as Marks, but slower. Alright, right outside linebackers. So linebackers in our toss-heavy game, the meta game, a lot of people run tosses. You need speed above all stats to get outside to contain those tosses, especially in the 4-3 linebackers. 3-4 outside linebackers, they're already setting the edge just based on their position. But someone like Tom Bahali, who granted is a 3-4 linebacker, just won't cut it at 75 speed. That's not enough to chase down scrambling quarterbacks. His 82 block shed won't hold up against the run. Bad man in zone, so he's no help there. His price is 8,000 coins. I don't think he should be on your team. Middle linebacker, more than any other sport, Major League Baseball needs to be fast to react to changing environments. That joke didn't work when I said middle linebacker, I said MLB. Middle linebackers need to be fast to get to the edge. I like to use my middle linebacker, so he has to be Nate Askew, Ryan Shazier fast. So any slow middle linebacker is bad here if you're going to user it. And like I said earlier, in a 4-3, even if you're not usering the position, you still need speed. In a 3-4, it's a little different. You can have a slow number 2 middle linebacker to stand up to the run, while your user is a fast guy getting from sideline to sideline. But a player that is both slow and bad against the run like Daryl Smith is a mistake to own. He's listed at just over 8,000 coins, but he is someone I suggest staying away from. And Lawrence Timmons is right there with him in the same boat with how bad his card is. He can't play coverage like I can't play fight. I always take it too far. At left outside linebacker, this one's easy and allows me to turn a phrase. Junior Gillette is a piece of shit in real life and this game. Slow and bad against the run. 9,400 coins. Pernell McPhee will play similarly, rushing the passer, but will be better against the run with his higher block shed. Cornerback. You'll like someone with speed there, and if they don't have it, they better be good in zone, because you can hide bad speed easier in zone coverage. And you always like your corner to be tall. Well, 84 overall, Brett Grimes has none of these attributes. Slow, so he can't play man coverage. Bad zone rating, so he can't do that. He doesn't have the height to make up for it. And as for an elite to stay away from, I'd recommend Brandon Flowers. Slow at 85 speed and short, so he can't play outside in zone coverage. His zone rating is good at 90. Well, average at 90. So maybe he could play in the nickel for you. But not really, because his terrible block shed means he's getting pancaked on runs. Avoid Flowers also. Free safety. I can't find too many bad ones here except for the obvious 74 overall golds that I mentioned earlier. I've heard Reggie Nelson plays bad, but otherwise, free safeties, I don't know, they have okay, they're all around the same play rec and awareness, but you need good speed there. Earl Thomas miraculously has the lowest play rec of the elite safeties at 82, well, second lowest now, but he has high speed and zone coverage, so he's a decent card. The one I'd say is outright bad is Glover Quinn's 85 overall elite card. He's got an 88 press with a 73 man coverage, just a waste of on that mix of skills. He can press him, but he can't cover him in man coverage. His zone coverage is low for that high overall free safety. His play rec and awareness at 84 and 83 are also not what you'd like to see. His hit power and tackle aren't great. His speed is also slow, so he can't play the middle field well in cover 3. He really doesn't excel in any one defense. So do not buy Glover Quinn's 85 overall card. Strong safety flashback Dante Whitner is bad for 140,000 coins. Low play rec awareness, so he's not amazing on his own left of the CPU. Low man and zone coverage, but his positives are his 91 speed and 95 hit power. But I wouldn't say he's a great user because he's got bad acceleration, agility, catching, and is quite short. So I would not buy flashback Dante Whitner. especially at that 140k price. And there you have it. Who do you think are the worst cards in your own opinion in Mut so far? Have you tried any out yourself? Let me know in the comments, on Twitter, wherever. Do you agree with my choices for the worst players in Mut so far? Or value for their cards? If they've played well for you, let me know. That'd be valuable information. Alright, thanks for watching. Call to action. I will see you tomorrow.